Welcome back, and in this segment we will be talking about our economic reform, especially
right. I think also when it comes to our economy, the economy is one of the most important issues to be discussed, and talking about the challenges we are facing nowadays. We have a lot of things to be discussed. We are talking about mega projects. We are also talking about small and medium enterprises. And how do you see the year 2017? We have a lot of things actually, and I have something that is really very, very important to discuss with our guest for today, Dr. Youmn Hamaki, Professor of Economics at Shams University. First of all, good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
And just allow me to move on into a quick break, and we'll be back to talk about our economy this time.
Welcome to Egypt, the most fascinating place on earth. Land of the pharaohs. Muse of the world. Travel back to ancient times. Hear the voices from the past. Marvel as you wander through what is widely considered the greatest outdoor museum anywhere on the planet. Meet the city of Cairo with its unique fusion of different cultures. Enjoy the all-year-round sun on one of the countless beaches. Lose yourself among the souks and markets to taste the flavor of Egyptian life. Explore the ancient tombs. Share the secrets from the past. Hold your breath as you stand before what is considered the greatest spectacle in the whole world. Live the Egyptian nightlife. Sail on a boat on the Nile. Or dive into an amazing world of color and beauty. From east to west.
welcome back, and as we mentioned earlier, we're happy to have with us today in this segment Dr. Youmn Hamaki, Professor of Economics. Dr. Youmn, good morning.
Good morning.
And I'd like to ask you, how do you see this year's economic? Do you feel that that this year will be better than last year's?
Hopefully, inshallah, this year is going to be better from economic point of view. I believe there are several, factors that may encourage us to be optimistic about 2017. That we have taken in 2016 the major economic reform processes, which is liberalization of exchange rate on top of it, which affected seriously the Egyptian economy from different perspectives. At the same time, we have an agreement with IMF. We have the reform of trying to achieve stabilization in our macroeconomic policies, enhance the climate of investment. Besides, what is quite important, the mega projects. The importance of mega projects that Egypt, started 2 years ago to implement it is to spread the development effect into the majority of the Egyptian territories, not just to concentrate it, to be concentrated in 6% of the surface of Egypt. And this is quite important. Why? Because we need actually to open opportunities of investment, and we need to enhance the capabilities of the economy to attract investment, whether by local investors or Arab and foreign investors. From here it comes that you are trying to build bases for take-off of the economy. And this had happened for the previous year. So we are expecting to benefit from the repercussions of this economic reform. But this still under the condition of good performance, which means that we have now the opportunities to reap the benefits of all this type of reform. We have a lot of opportunities, and I would like here to emphasize that even international reports about the Egyptian economy, like famous economists, they have a report mentioning that the Egyptian pound is going to rebound for 2017, and at the same time some investment funds that came to Egypt here in order to find out the opportunities of investment, and they all declare that Egypt is land full of opportunities for very profitable investment. From here it comes that there is all the possibilities that this year is going to be, inshallah, a better year from economic perspective.
Right, as long as we are talking about the measures taken to pave the way for new investments to take place, well, of course, let me here ask about the new law of investment. And we were discussing this several times before. Some people are in favor, some other people, they are asking about certain points that are not mentioned. For example, how do you see the law and how far it is important? Will it facilitate foreign investments in Egypt? And
very important topics that we have been discussing here in this show about the problems or the climate of investment in Egypt, to how extent bureaucracy affecting seriously and corruption affecting seriously the climate of investment. And from here it comes that this new law of investment is offering very important way in order to enhance the climate of investment for investors. Investors, they would like to have stability in the climate of investment. They would like to know if the processes they are going to do, it's going to last for some period. So when they have a visibility study, they would like to see that this visibility study is going to be applicable in reality. From here it comes that the new law of investment is offering all these opportunities. Like it's offer at the beginning that we have an investment window in which you are applying for your projects, and if you are going to fulfill all the requirements needed, and it could be electronically too, it is obligatory to have your approval for your investments or for your project within specific period of time. So you are not here subject to bureaucracy. So this is one of the steps, very important steps in the new law of investment. Besides, another point, it's to encourage investment in several places. From here it comes that we know quite well investment map for Egypt. We know quite well that Upper Egypt has been deprived completely from all opportunities of investment and attracting investments there. So Upper Egypt and Sinai and some areas that are deprived from investment are going to be, investors are going to be encouraged to go there by having free land, in order to have your projects. This is one incentive that is quite important. Besides that, there is going to be, reimbursement of your investment arriving to 80% of your investment if you have a project that is, dedicated to exports, since we have a problem of hard currency, or import substitution. So from here, we are encouraging the projects that may enhance exportation for Egypt or produce, to replace imports. So this is quite important too, as incentives to attract investment. Another incentive is what we have, golden license. This is going to be dedicated to the projects that is in favor importance for the economy, largely speaking, as in, for example, to transfer technology or to have an important impact for the economy. So a lot of incentives are guaranteed in this law of investment. Hopefully that it has been approved by the cabinet, and now it is the turn of the parliament to be discussed, and sooner it's going to be applicable, inshallah. From here it comes that the government and in cooperation with the civil society, they are trying to have a better climate of investments.
Dr. Youmn, you've mentioned an important point as you were speaking about exports, because so far the investments in Egypt are more like services, but unless we develop our industries for exports, we will still be suffering. So how can we do that?
We have a complete plans in order to do that. Like you mentioned, I fully agree with you about the importance of the industrial sector and the agriculture sector too. Agriculture sector can play a significant role in order to improve our competitiveness for exportation. And if you notice the last period, the last 6 months, exportation of agricultural output has increased substantially during this period. From here that it led the export of Egypt. So there is a lot of potentialities. The big question mark, and that is actually challenging for Egypt for the coming period, is about the competitiveness of our industry. We have several industrial bases coming not only from the private sector but from the public sector companies and from informal sectors. We have very large informal sectors that are producing manufacturing but without any control or regulations. Those, because I have several studies, applied researches on them, they have very large potential to improve their competitiveness if they are going to be allowed to have transfer of technology, technical assistance, financial assistance. So by here you are adding to the productive capacity and enhancing the competitiveness of the industry. This needs a holistic approach from the government in order to address all these opportunities for production from one perspective. From another, we lack to large extent the value chain of the industrial sector, which means that in different industries, that's why we are witnessing severe inflation after the liberalization of the Egyptian pound, which means that since we have 40% of what we are manufacturing are imported. So any increase in the dollar is going to be affecting the cost of production. And from here it comes the importance of increasing the local production, the value chain. If you have a strategy in order to encourage production to fulfill this, all the chain of production, this will improve to large extent the competitiveness of our industries. So this is part of the story, is how to allocate all your resources regarding fulfilling the value chain and improving the competitiveness. Here there are several challenges affecting that, is using technology, transfer of technology, benefiting from your researches. You know that we have a complete separation between our scientific research and the industry. We have to link them together in order that the industry should benefit from these innovative ideas to improve the competitiveness of the product. Besides, another challenge is the productivity of labor. We lack, to a large extent, our labor is not skilled enough in order to achieve the productivity needed to enhance the competitiveness of the production. And from here it comes the importance of having a strategic plan in order to upgrade the skills of our labor. So this is another challenge that needs to be addressed seriously in order to improve the competitiveness of our industrial sector.
Right, Doctor, I have many points related to this, because talking first of all about after the liberalization of the Egyptian pound.
Yes.
And so far we were talking about that this is one of the most important measures to just encourage foreign investments in Egypt. And economists, they are talking about the fair real price of the Egyptian pound. Yes. And how to support the Egyptian pound, because of course we are talking about production and efficiency as well. And we ask, where is our total quality management, for example, because this is another important sector. So far, the investor who is going to come, he knows exactly that this is not the real price of the dollar. Again, the same circle that we used to face in the past.
So we used to have, overvalued Egyptian pound. Now it is undervalued.
So how are we going to make this balance, and when are we going to reach the real price? We are talking, some people, they're talking about 13, for example, pounds for $1.
It's not anymore 13 once you have inflations that reach to 24%.
And when it reaches this, it will never be decreased.
It is a vicious circle, Nashwa, it is a problem that it is a vicious circle. As long as you are not monitoring, this is what we have been talking about. Is it a free floating or managed floating? It is a free floating in which you are not following or monitoring to how extent to achieve stabilization in the right way. And from here it comes that you have this volatile. It is expected that within 3 months, hopefully, that we can reach, some kind of stabilization of our Egyptian pound. When we are talking about stabilization, it's about we would like to reach the real price of the exchange rate. And the real price of exchange rate, it's not 18 and it's not 20. It is less than that. But, if you are not going to have the real effort in order to achieve the real price, this will let you going again into the vicious circle of inflation. And when inflation is increasing, the value of pound is decreasing, and you are going to reach a more value of the dollar. This is the vicious circle. So how to break these vicious circles is by encouraging all your capabilities, the capabilities of the economy, how to enhance export. You have very large capabilities to enhance export, manufacture and agriculture export in a very short period. If you use a public sector partnership with the private sector, there is a lot of productive capacity unutilized in the public sector that you can use it in a very short period. Besides the SMEs, you have a large capabilities to use it, and the informal sector, as I've just mentioned, a lot of things should be managed. You need a management of the economy in order to address priorities. And the first priority for the Egyptian economy nowadays is how to allocate all these resources in a very short period. So this is from one perspective. From another, a good sign that Egyptian remittances had increased substantially during the last period, so you have to encourage that, to enhance that. Tourism rebound, this is very good sign. Hopefully that we can increase it for the coming period. Foreign direct investment, if you have the new law of investment, and you should promote your investment. It's not just by having new law of investment or facilitating, but you have to address all the problems of foreign investors that are existing in Egypt, because they are talking to each other. So from here it comes that try to address all these problems in order to give a good sign about that you have here a good management for your economy. And from here it comes that a lot of multinationals nowadays are thinking to come and to look about the opportunities that are, a lot in Egypt, since we are not utilizing our resources efficiently. So from here it comes that you are going to attract foreign investment, since you have all these capabilities, and around you in the Middle East there are severe problems. Europe, they are suffering from recession. So from here it comes that this location of Egypt is offering very good opportunities, and we have, regional agreement with Africa. So you are a hub for Africa, you are a hub for Arab countries. For European countries, we have a partnership with Europe. So from here comes the importance that a lot of potentialities, but it needs to be used efficiently.
Well, Dr. Youmn, we're still going to continue with you, but we will be going out for a short break, and we'll be back for more with Dr. Youmn Hamaki, Professor of Economics.
الواقع الاقتصادي في مصر تحدي ضخم، ولازم نعترف بده ونقبله ونعالجه. اطلعوا كلموا الناس وقولوا الموقف الاقتصادي ايه. زي ما الثورة ليها ايجابيات، الثورات بيبقى ليها سلبيات على مجتمعاتها. الارهاب والفساد كانوا عاملين اضافيين في اضعاف القدرة الاقتصادية لينا. مفيش اقتصاد يبقى مفيش تعليم، يبقى مفيش صحة، يبقى مفيش بنية اساسية. بنحاول نقلل الفجوة بين الموارد وبين المصروفات. كل القرارات الصعبة أنا لن أتردد ثانية إن أنا أخدها. لو هنعمل حاجة قبل ما هنعملها هنقول لكم عليها وأنتوا هتقفوا جنبي. الأمانة اللي أنتم حملتوهاني تجاه الوطن مش بس أنتوا اللي هتحاسبوني عليها، اللي هيحاسبني عليها ربنا قبلكم ثم التاريخ.
Welcome back, and in this segment, as we started it, we are with Dr. Youmn Hamaki, and she's the Professor of Economics, and we're continuing our interview with you, Doctor. Doctor, we were talking about the forecast of Egypt's economic situation this year, and you were quite optimistic, or you are quite optimistic actually.
Under
about
condition, not,
yes.
I am optimistic, of course, because a lot that happens that can,
Yes.
lead us to be optimistic, but at the same time there is still a lot of challenges that need to be addressed properly.
Yes. What about the challenges? Would you tell us more? What do we need to face?
First of all, it's about bureaucracy and corruption. This is quite important to be addressed properly. And, I think that we have now the Higher Council of Investment presided by the president himself, and he has a very good, persistency in order to address all, challenges affecting investment. From here it comes that this is a very important political support to investment in Egypt. We have to remember that the Higher Council of Investment issued several before the devaluation of the Egyptian pound. They have several and very important decisions that have been taken in order to, address all, complaint of investors, in order to make climate of investment more favorable for investors, to support import substitution and export promotion. And from here it comes that we need some kind of monitoring, very good monitoring towards what's happening. What are the main obstacles, how to be addressed properly. The performance is quite important, and monitoring is quite important for this period. With the application of the new law of investment, inshallah, hopefully, in a short period, this will, this political support is quite important from my point of view. Besides other challenges that need to be addressed, like for corruption, you know that we have a very good support from political support too. Now we have, mobilization, very important effort to enhance all efforts to combat corruption. This is a very important tendency that we are following every day as Egyptians, and we are all, happy about this combating corruption. Another thing is about the main challenges referring to the climate of investment, is about how to enhance, possibility of having finance from the banking sector. How to upgrade the skills of labor. This is quite important challenge. And I see that the Minister of Investment is taking the doing business indicator. You know that Egypt has achieved significant progress in doing business indicator, which is composed of 12 indicators to address the climate of investments. And the minister trying to exert effort in order to enhance these indicators to make the climate of investment more, applicable for enhancing investment. And I believe this approach is good. Besides that, we have to look to the complaint of investors, try to solve these problems, and the most important thing is to have sustainability and accountability, which means that when we have, because you remember, Nashwa, when we have several foreign investors, they are talking about what? They are talking about we need stabilization in policies. We don't want everyday decisions that may affect our business. We need stabilization. So what we are trying to do is for the coming periods, the 5 years coming, inshallah, we need to have stabilization in the climate of investment, so that when you make your visibility study, you are sure that
you are on a solid
on a solid basis and without any disruption regarding what you can face.
Let's be optimistic about the new year. At the end, Dr. Youmn
But we have to work, Nash.
Professor of Economics at Shams University, thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure.
And still we have more to bring you on our breakfast show. So let's move on to a quick break and we'll be back to resume our breakfast show.